What's up, you guys? I'm Dan, this is Frugal Not Cheap, and today we'll do an unenveloping of the Citi Premier card and a review. So as you may have seen in a recent video, I was excited to move away from the Chase trifecta and jump on the Capital One bandwagon, going to a strategy of using the Capital One Venture X card and also the Capital One SavorOne card. Unfortunately, I didn't realize, and this is a word of warning to you guys out there that might be thinking of doing the same thing, Capital One seems to have a pretty strict policy of not issuing more than one card within a 6-month period. So not knowing this, I'd gotten the Capital One SavorOne card back in November. I was able to get a nice $200 sign-up bonus for spending only $500. That was great. But then when I went to go and apply for the Venture X card in late December, because I just wanted to make sure that I wouldn't miss out on the $1,000 sign-up bonus, when I went to apply for that card, unfortunately, I was denied. So that was kind of a surprise. I'd kind of seen this 6-month thing out there on the internet, but I wasn't sure that it was definitely a rigid policy. Anyway, I got the denial letter in the mail a little bit later, and it said because there had been a recent or pending application with Capital One. So then I spoke with a customer service rep there, and basically he couldn't give a straight answer to say, yes, this is a hard set policy. He just had a script that he had to follow that gave a non-answer. So anyway, that's the case. I'm going to have to wait until probably around May to reapply for the card, and most likely get that then. I believe I will. Let's see why not. But in the meantime, I was thinking, well, what can I do? I would still like to get another sign-up bonus, and from what I can read out there, Capital One doesn't care all that much about what you do outside of Capital One. It's just this internal rule about more than one card within 6 months. So I went off and picked up the Citi Premier card. At the time, there was a $800 sign-up bonus, and I knew that this was going to be available for a very limited time. I couldn't get the video out soon enough to meet that. Sorry about that. But there still is a $600 sign-up bonus, so not quite as good, but still pretty good. So you can see if you like the card and whether or not that is going to make sense for you. So I guess where we should start is to get a sense of where this card is amongst the different tiers of credit cards. And as you know, I already have the American Express Platinum card. I have the Charles Schwab version, so that I was able to invest at 110% rate. So I got a 10% bump for doing that rather than just taking straight cash back. And I also have the Chase Sapphire Reserve as part of my old Chase trifecta strategy. And I'm sort of in between strategies right now, using the Capital One SavorOne card when I can for the 3% categories, and then the Citi Double Cash card actually for 2% back on everything else. So not too bad right there. So those are the top tier cards, though, the Amex Platinum and the Chase Sapphire Reserve, not top, but premium. Of course, beyond that, you've got things like, the Black card. And then I think there's a JP Morgan card as well up there, though that's a lot like the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Anyway, below that tier, though, then you have, those have a $550 and a $695 annual fee. When we go below that, we're looking at things like the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. That's got a $95 annual fee. And at that same tier, then you have this card, which is the Citi Premier card. So rather than, the Amex Platinum, we saw we had a nice box that it came in. It was the same situation for the Chase Sapphire Reserve with a $95 annual fee. There's just not the budget to do all that kind of stuff. So what we have instead is this envelope. So we're going to switch views here, and we'll do a little bit of an unenveloping. We'll see kind of what's in here, and then I'll go over whether or not this is a keeper card for me and why. Okay, so here's the envelope. All right, and then in it, the classic privacy policy type of stuff. Then we've got the basic agreement and the APR and all that kind of stuff. And we have here the thank you for choosing the card and all of the different benefits, as we'll outline in a little bit. Okay, and here's the card itself. Yep, so here's the card. And it is, it's nice looking, but it's very thin. There is a little bit of, that sort of mirror effect on the MasterCard logo, which is nice. But it is a thin card, it is not metal, and there's nothing really particularly super exciting about it, but you know, it's a fine card. All right, now that we've seen the Citi Premier card, what do I think about it? Well, let's do the math, right? This is always going to be the way to do it, and I want you to be able to also do the math for your situation and see if this card is going to make sense. I will put a link to the spreadsheet that I use so you can kind of crunch in your own numbers as well. And I also have, by the way, another spreadsheet available for it's kind of a broader set of cashback cards that have no annual fee if you want to check that out. A little bit different though, because of course this card does have that $95 annual fee. So what do we get in return for that fee? Well, first we get 3% back on select categories. These include restaurants, groceries, gas, travel, and hotels. So that's pretty good. And then we also get 1% cash back on everything else. And then a nice one, because it is kind of a travel card, is there is no foreign transaction fee. And then this is the reason why this could be a keeper card for many of you, is that actually get a $100 hotel credit per year. Now, fine print though, you do need to book this hotel through the thank you portal, right? The Citi portal. The other thing is that it's not just a straight $100 credit, it's $100 on a stay of $500 or more. Now, personally, I don't do any of these long hotel stays. I definitely travel and visit family, so I'm not staying in hotels. And so this is actually the reason why this is not a keeper card for me. But certainly, you know, if this was something that you did every year for sure, so it wasn't going to change your behavior at all, then you're effectively getting paid $5 in order to have this card, and it doesn't seem like a terrible deal. So how much cash back could we get? Now, again, here, this is really going to depend on what your annual budget looks like. I've put in my annual budget here, and it could be very different from yours. However, you can see I spend about $2,500 a year on groceries. I spend $300 or so on dining. Spend a little bit more than that lately, but that's kind of more my long-term average. Then the next larger categories are $1,000 on travel. And then $7,200 kind of on other miscellaneous categories. So I've got a total non-rent spend of $11,347 that I could be earning cash back on. It's generally not going to make sense to pay my rent because most cards, the cash back percentage is going to be less than the amount that I would be getting that I would have to pay for fees. So plugging in this Citi Premier and the 3% back on the categories that are applicable for me, you can see that I earn a total of $189 in cash back, which of course would pay for the $95 annual fee, but that still wouldn't make sense because there's an opportunity cost. I could be using no annual fee cards in order to generate even more without having that annual fee. And so this certainly is not a keeper card for me. But again, the math could be different for you if you value that hotel credit at full value. So what would I do? Now, I already have the Citi Double Cash card. This is a great card where you get 2% back on everything with no limit. So really good card, just kind of as your everything else or kind of catch-all card when you're not going for a specific category with a specific card. And I did get a nice tip in the comments, by the way, shout out here, saying that the best way to cash out is not, well, the worst way to cash out is to do a statement credit, because then it reduces the amount that you pay back and thereby reduces the total amount of cash back that you're earning. So better to cash out, either on their portal, one-to-one for a gift card, or what I'll be doing, of course, which is one-to-one for a cash back. And by the way, I did hear rumblings that they're going to reduce the cashback threshold. It used to be you had to get $25 in cashback rewards before you could cash out. I'm hearing rumblings that they're going to be reducing that in the future. The other card that was pointed out to me in the comments was for my no annual fee credit card video was the Citi Custom Cash. And the reason that I hadn't included in the video is I saw that they had a $500 limit for the current category, and then also it's only whatever your highest category is for that month. So I thought those two things didn't really sound so good. But what I didn't realize is that the $500 limit is not a quarterly limit, that's a monthly limit. So you can still get up to $1,500 back on a particular category in a quarter. So that's kind of in line with what you can get with, say, the Chase Freedom card, for instance. And so it's back in the runnings as a potential strategy. And because it's per billing period, you can kind of switch back and forth each month depending on what's going to make sense for you. And what I would do if this were really my strategy is to buy gift cards. And so I looked at, okay, given my annual spend, if I bought gift cards each month of up to $500 for that category, how much could I do to maximize everything? So I said, all right, look, I've got $2,500 in grocery spend. That means that I can do a total of 6 months where I buy $500 in grocery store gift cards, and I could max out that category. That works out pretty well. And then beyond that, of course, I could also spend another $500 each month on, say, a gift card to an airline, and then I could max out the travel there. It kind of stinks though, because I couldn't buy just one ticket in 1 month and get the full $1,000, like get cash back on the full $1,000 I'd like to spend, because again, it is $500 per statement period. So yeah, still you can see why I don't really love this card all that much. But anyway, putting in all my categories, which also include a little bit of dining and streaming, I could buy gift cards for Netflix. Not my preferred way to do it, but could do it. And then I could also maybe buy some gift cards to restaurants that I like to go to. Again, not my preferred, but anyway, whatever. So theoretically, I could get up to $273 just using this one card, but much better actually to combine the custom cash card with the Citi Double Cash card, and with no annual fee, I'd then be able to get a combined $346 in cash back. So this by far beats what I could get from the Citi Premier card, which again was $189, but having to pay an annual fee on top of that. So if I was to stay within the Citi ecosystem, definitely the Citi Premier, not a keeper card for me, and I would go with the Citi Double Cash plus the Citi Custom Cash card. But this is not going to be my preferred strategy. Again, don't really love this custom cash card, and also don't like having to pay foreign transaction fees, which is something that's there with the Citi Double Cash. So that's why long term, because both of these cards are no foreign transaction fee cards and have really good benefits in terms of the cashback potential for my particular budget, I'm going with the Capital One Venture X, and also with the Capital One SavorOne card. That's my new setup. And hopefully in the future, I'll be able to do a nice unboxing and further review of the Capital One Venture X. But for now, you can see my initial take on it in a previous video. So that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. If you have any other cards that you think are interesting that you'd like to see my take on, please let me know in the comments. Thank you very much again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.